So I never set out to to. I think that again, my nephew and Kobe Bryant were actually accidents. And that they based on the identity thing, you know. Again, I think that 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 I have to make sure that based on the identity that I make sure that you know which one is which um, when it comes to that, because you don't want to make be mistaken identities and stuff like that, especially based on dreams. You doesn't want to do that. But again, it was something that I did, and when it comes to mistaken identity or accidents or whatever. But but I also think that it was a premonition, um, based on a premonition. I think it was a premonition that for some reason um, that that they was going to be in accidents, um, like that, and you know, you know, and as far as Bill Cosby was the one who the dream was actually about. I just remember, and I never even thought that he will be up for sexual assault. Because I've been admiring Bill Cosby for years and years and years and stuff like that. So I didn't think that he would be up for sexual assault or anything like that, man. I mean, the thing is it that you really don't know people. You really don't know people and stuff like that. So you really can't say, well, this person didn't do that, this person didn't do that, but you really doesn't know people. So, you know, I think that I think all of this. Let me see. Natalie Cosign. Natalie Cosign. I just remember having a dream about him in February of 2015. And I just remember having this dream, and it was his face was covered like Anthony in the dream. In the dream, Anthony's dream and Natalie Cole's son dream was the same when it came to their face. They had this like white cloud on their face, and they had this white cloud on their face, and like it was like a white cloud. It wasn't like it was something like that was hiding their identity, like, and I just knew because it looked similar to Anthony's dream, and I was like, why does the person that had the and Natalie Cole's son, that particular dream, he had the same white thing on his face, like Anthony. Natalie Cole's son had the same white thing on his face, like Anthony. And I was like, why is that? What's going, And so when I had, so what happened was, I let that dream go for a while. And then one day I had, uh, uh, um, one day I had one day I just remember uh, all right, one day when I seen it, and he had on his suit and stuff like that in the dream, and I was like, you know what? And I went online looking for people with those with that suit on and stuff like that, and I didn't. But after a while, I just left the dream alone. And then one day, I had a year later, I had the John Bonet dream. The John Bonet, the dream said that they're gonna find John Bonet's murderer, like that. And then I had went back to the Natalie Cole Sun dream, and I was like, wait a minute. And so like with Cosby dream, after the Cosby dream, after that one, and that was solved and everything, I was always looking every time I would go on the internet, TV, whatever, to see if that dream fit. Like you kind of look in the background of the dream and try to look at suits and this, that, and the other, trying to figure out who that person actually is. So, so I was always scanning everything I would look at, trying to figure out who that dream was, because going on the internet, trying to figure out what the suit was and who was wearing the suit and this, that, and the other. And and I wasn't really getting anywhere with that. So one day, so one day, so one day I had, I was on the internet, and then, um, there it was. It kind of told me at that point. And, it kind of told me at that point who it was, um, because the same background, everything. It was just like the dream, and it said Nettie Cole's son dies, and at that moment, I just knew, that was the dream was about Natalie Cole's son at that point, and I knew that was Natalie Cole's son. And the other thing I did too was I I went to like I went to like try to figure out before I found out it was Natalie Cole's son. I did some searching, like, and what happened was I had picked somebody. I said, well, what if that person, like with Anthony, because he had the same thing Anthony had on his face. I wonder if the person is dead already, because you kind of knew that person was going to pass away anyway. Based on the thing on Anthony's face, that kind of told me that Anthony was going to pass away. The thing on Nat Nicole's son face, that kind of told me that person was going to pass away as well. But in some way, I was like, let me see. I wonder if the person is dead already. Like, whether he was going to pass away or was the person dead already. And so what I did was I took an uh um I took an played a person birthday that was deceased. And when I did that, um, I hit the number just like that. And I was like, yeah, like that. And and when I hit, I was like, well, if I hit the number, then there's something to that, because I'm sitting here trying to figure out who is this person in this dream. Before I found out it was Natalie Cole's son, before I found out, I played a dead person's birthday, and I hit just like that. I was like, huh? And so I was like, okay, there's something else about it. I don't think it was just about the lottery number. I think it was much more than that. And so if that person is dead already, or not dead already, or is going to die, um, uh, does it mean, what does that mean? Does that mean that the person is going to die the way that the dead person that I picked, which is his birthday? Like the dead person I picked, to see whether that person was dead already. Well, that particular person died, died, and I was like, because I hit the number, I was like, I don't think it's just about hitting the number. Is that person going to die the same way that the dead person died? Like that. And the only thing I could think of is that I just got to sit and wait and see, like that. So when I found out that it was actually Natalie Cole's son that passed away, um, the the it came on the news that a friend of his went to that. He hadn't seen him in a couple of days, and he had went to his apartment and found him dead in the apartment. And the police was saying that he had died of a heart attack. And because I was like, well, what did he die of? Because I wanted to see, did he die of in the same way that the dead man died, that I had picked as far as the birthday thing. And according to the police, they think that he may have died from a heart attack, but because his medical records haven't been released to the public, and you really don't know. But because he was dead already in the apartment, there was no drugs. He wasn't on drugs or anything like that, and stuff like that. So, the police said that he had died of a heart attack, and I was wondering, based on the dead man, that birthday that I played, um, that person died of a heart attack. And I was wondering, I was like, wait a minute, did I cause his heart attack? I don't know about that, but I tried to figure things out on my own, and figure things out on my own, and I wonder if they is correct. Is what I say, or go out and seek, is that stuff true? When I think about Anthony making mistaken identity with Anthony and Red, even though I thought he may have, if it wasn't Anthony, it was Rick. Why did I say that? Why did I say that? Because because it was an accident. Did I know was Rick going to be an accident anyway? If God did not want Rick to be in an accident, He would have never let him be in an accident. If God did not want Kobe Bryant to be in an accident, with the other people, he wouldn't have never let them be in accidents. If even though if Natalie Cole's son, um, even though if I played the dead man's birthday and I hit, that kind of told me something anyway, because I hit the number. Not only did I hit the number, you know, the dead man died the same way that Natalie Cole's son died, based on police, based on the police, and because they found him dead in an apartment, and there was no foul play there, because that definitely would have made news if it was foul play, because of him being Natalie Cole's son. It would have made news, but it did not, so that kind of like, he probably did die of a heart attack. Because if it was foul play, it would have made news. Trust me, it would have made news. So that kind of told me that even though I picked the dead man, play, even though I played the dead man's birthday and hit that number, and Natalie Cole's son, and the dead man died of a heart attack, and so did Natalie Cole's son, like that. And so, I wonder if my premonitions are correct, because you would say if even though the identities may have been wrong, the identities, the dead man was not Natalie Cole's son, but what they had in common was they had heart attacks. And I wonder if my premonitions is correct. The identities might not be correct, but the premonitions are, like that. What else it has to do with it is correct. Like, say, like, if the dead man was not Natalie Cole's son, but the dead man and Natalie Cole's son both died of heart attacks, like that. So because I hit the number on the dead man, that told me that there's something else there, based on a person's identity. Because I'm still trying to figure out who their dream is about. Before I found out it's Natalie Cole's son, I'm still trying to find out who that person in the dream is. And because I played the dead man's birthday, I hit just like that. And because I hit, I was like, wait a minute, it has to be something else there. But I don't think it's just based on just the hitting the number. It's much more than that, and it was. The dead man died of a heart attack, and so I was like, whoever this person is in this dream, I'm gonna see if that person dies of a heart attack. And when it came down to it, Natalie Cole's son, they found him in the house dead, and like that. And the police said they think he died of a heart attack. There was no drugs involved. Natalie Cole's sisters, confirmed that he did not do drugs or anything like that. But they did not make his medical records public, and stuff like that. But if it had been any foul play, it would have been made public. I don't think it was foul play to it, so he probably did die of a heart attack. But he didn't do drugs or anything like that, and it wasn't foul play like somebody else did it and stuff like that. So there, like that. So that kind of like told me, I think my premonitions are correct. I don't think I just set out to kill anybody or anything like that. But I think my premonitions are correct. I think when I got all the signals and dreams and premonitions and all visions and all of that stuff, they are correct. They are correct. And I remember one day I had a dream, and my brother told me to go play 615. He didn't tell me how to play it, and I went and played it. And I was like, for some reason, for some reason, I said, I'ma play 615 could be a number and it could be a date, which is June the 15th. Like that, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to play June 15th. I had some numbers that I had already that I wanted, that I had already that I wanted to play, and I hadn't played it yet. So I said, I'm going to wait until June 15th, and I got some numbers, and I'm going to go play it. And when I did, I hit for $100. Instead of my brother didn't tell me how to play ad. He just say, go play 615. 615 could be a date and it can be a number. But I didn't go with the number thing. I said no. I'm gonna play. What else is 615? June 15. I play my numbers. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I said that, but I did, and I hit. I went and played June 15th, and I hit for $100, like that. And it seems like every time that I would do something when it came to Oprah, Joyce, Billy Graham, Kobe Bryant, my nephew, the number, playing the number. It seems like every time that I do that, it always came out to be right. For some reason, it always came out to be right. And I wonder if I got this. I not think I have ESP, but I think I have more than that. I think it's more. You know, like that. I think it's much more. I don't think it's just something it just happens and no, I think it's much more. It's much more. It's a lot more than just having I think it's much more. It's much more. I think the premonition stuff. I think the ESP, and the thing with all of this is too much of a coincidence. I'm not going with the coincidence thing. It's too much for it to all come true, based on whatever I choose to do. If I choose to play a dead man number and I hit, or if I play a lottery and I say, hey, I don't want to play the number 615, I play the date 615, I hit. I mean, it's like it's like whatever choice I made. Like if I threw the basketball up at the court, and it went in, way past half court, there's something to that is extraordinary. It's extraordinary. All of this stuff is extraordinary. It's not something that that is just happens and all this old stuff. I don't think it just happened. I don't believe that. I think it's much more to that than it just happened. I don't believe that it just happened. I think it's much more. And I think it's much more. And I think that anything else I want to say, because I'm trying to put in as much as I could. Um, uh, I hit the number twice, based on the same four numbers. I hit those twice. 1 year, I think it was in 97 and 98. I hit the same number twice. Let me see what else. What else? Uh, oh, I was online one day. One day I was thinking about a number, right? And I was for some reason I thought about that number, all day. And when I went online, there was a singer online that passed away based on that same number. Based on the same number. Again, I did not see the online services at that point. Not when I thought about it all day. And then at some point I had went online, and a singer passed away based on that same number I thought about all day. Like that. And it's too much of a coincidence, I don't go with the coincidence thing. I go with that. um it's something. I think it's a gift. I don't think it's I think it's a gift. That that touch that I have, that knowing that I have. Kobe, Oprah, and Joyce Myers all became successful and stuff like that when I come in contact with them early on, and stuff like that. I think it's a gift. I don't think it's something that just happened, or is not true or anything like that. No, it is true. It is true. All what I'm saying is true. And the John case, I think I do know who, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to even, but that is something that needs to be investigated more, when it comes to police or whatever. And I think that the dream told me that they're going to find that person. Whoever that person is, they're going to find that person, and stuff. That whoever did that to John Ramsey, they're going to find that person, like that. And, you know, and they're going to find that person. So, anything else? Let me see. I have had signals. Oh, I had signals on friends. I just noticed that they began with singers, singers, comedian friends, and I'm constantly getting that signals about people, but I don't want to say their names yet. I'd rather, say it after the fact. But I know I have gotten signals about people and stuff like that. And they came true. Some of them came true already. Like that. And it's not something I think is I think is a gift of knowing. It's that gift of knowing. And And so, it's that's what it's really about, man. And it's that knowing that you have, and just about looking at things and stuff, and experiencing stuff, and knowing what to look for, and this, that, and the other, and the how, and stuff like that, and how God shows you different things and stuff like that. I think I learn more and more and more each year. I just know more and more and more about the psychic, or the ESP, extrasensory perception. I just know more and more and more and more. And it's amazing how you can see it. And it's not just about heartbeats and batteries. It's about everything we come in contact with is saying something to us. Everything. And it's not just about heartbeats and batteries. I mean, meaning humans and batteries type, products, and this, that, and the other. Everything we come in contact with, man, has a saying to it. A saying to act. And you can read, and